Ciao, everyone. As you can see, Alfred and I are in two different places. I'm in Sicily, and Alfred is right
In
outside
a
of
secret
Boston,
location in Massachusetts.
right north of Boston. So, honey, are you having a good time?
I am having a very good time, and I am thinking of you because I have this stuff here. What
The
is that
famous
stuff?
Slivovitz. It's plum brandy, Hungarian plum brandy. I love that. You've been
Boy, I'll
having
tell
that
you
with my
what,
mom, huh?
that stuff kind of cleans out your innards a little bit, huh?
No kidding.
Good
No
stuff,
kidding.
plum brandy.
So listen, honey. So we talk often on this channel about things we miss in the United States. Now, I want to know a little bit. Have any of those things that you missed have been fulfilled?
Well, what I'm doing over here is I'm not repeating anything. So, if, for example, if I have one thing, I'm not going to have it again because I'm only here for a few more days. But the first thing I wanted to have was Chinese food because the Chinese food, the people in Sicily should be arrested for impersonating Chinese restaurants. So I went to my favorite place called China Blossom to have their famous spare ribs, which is so good. And it really was gratifying. And then I went to my favorite Lebanese restaurant to have my favorite Lebanese stuff. It's been good. The food has been good, but I'm kind of moving on. I still have not had my lobster roll sandwich though.
Okay. And you're having great time with your family, meeting a lot of friends, right, Al?
A lot of
Reconnecting
friends,
with
but
some
before I
high
tell you,
school friends.
yep, I had 53 years ago is how long ago I graduated from high school at Austin Prep, which we call the Phillips Academy of the Catholic Schools now. I mean, it's really a wonderful place. I was invited there to have lunch, which was just a great lunch with some of the faculty members and the director of alumni relations, this wonderful woman, Jen Hodgkin. But I met up with some, we had breakfast at Mary Ann's Diner in Salem, New Hampshire. It was just great. And there was John Sato and Gary Aravella there, which was kind of symbolic because it was the day after Veterans Day, and those are two Vietnam vets. It was
Yeah.
so good to see those two guys. Greg Cleary, another classmate, and of course Jay Dowd, who he and I played ball together. So it was a great time with four old friends
That's
reminiscing
great.
about things that happened over a half century ago. Stop and think about that. And in the
That's
case of Gary
remarkable.
Aravella, Gary and I went to elementary school together. So we've
Yeah.
been friends over 60 years, and all three of the guys are Laurentians. So we hung around together in our neighborhood. Is that amazing or what?
Now, I want to know what are some things, you've been home about a week. What are some things that you miss here from Sicily?
Well, first of all, I miss you, Lester. No, I really.
I miss you too,
Are
honey.
you? Yeah, blushing. Esther's blushing. Actually, I've been so focused on noticing things here. I know I'm
Hmm.
going back next week. So over here, for example, the foliage, even though it's November, things are still beautiful. I took a beautiful drive
Good.
in the New England countryside. I've been doing a lot of that. Just looking at things, reminiscing about things. Where I mean, you have to understand. I don't come here anymore. My home is with you in Sicily. I live in
Yeah.
Sicily.
We
So here
miss you
I'm
here.
yeah, I'm very much I guess you could say a visitor here.
Yeah.
But what do you got to do? I mean, that's how it goes, right? One thing is your pal Peter Schiapoletti. You know your
Yeah.
pal Peter Schiapoletti, right? He's the greatest guy in the world. He went to my brother Tommy's show
Yeah.
yesterday because they allow a studio audience there, and he brought me four baseball pictures of a pitcher from the Boston Red Sox that I've been
That's
looking
so
for, a
cool.
baseball card, right? And I
That's
wanted
so
to
cool.
thank Peter, but I wasn't there, of course, because my brother Tommy's studio is high on a cliff. There's about 78 stairs with no place to hold on. So I took a look at it, and I had my people tell his people forget about it
I
unless he
got it.
puts in a
I
new
got it.
stairs. So I didn't go, but Peter showed up, and I thought that was so thoughtful that
He's a
Peter
very
did that.
thoughtful man for sure.
Great guy. That was a great guy.
So appreciative of all the people. We met Peter through our YouTube channel. So appreciative of all the people who have been supporting our You, Me, and Sicily channel. Now, Al, I've been really busy here holding down the fort,
Okay.
going on escapades.
Yeah.
So one
Where
of the
have you
things.
gone?
All right. So one of the things, went to Noto twice and went with my Italian teacher, and we went for a little bit of a walk on a natural reserve.
Yeah.
And, when you talk about Sicily and all these hidden treasures, I was walking on ancient Greek roads that were the ancient city of
Yeah.
Heloros, in the 8th century. And I was walking on roads where old wagons used to pass by carrying the stones to build the new city of Eloro.
Questa è la strada greca che portava alla città di Eloro e questi solchi sono stati creati dai carri che trasportavano le pietre per la costruzione della città.
This was the road that wagons went on to build the actual city, the ancient Greek city. And as we were walking around, she's very intelligent, and we were walking by all this vegetation, and she's explaining all these things to me. And I brought a little bit home. Do you know what this is, Al?
Marijuana. No, just a
Close.
joke. I don't know what it is.
Thyme.
Oh,
It was
thyme.
wild thyme growing everywhere. And also, she was showing me this plant that was used to make brooms.
Questa pianta si chiama palma nana e nel passato si facevano le scope di saggina, la scopa per pulire le strade, si facevano con questa
Such a spectacular area, hidden little treasure in the Noto area. And it's over down south of the city, about 3 to 5 kilometers south of the ancient city. And walking along the shores was just spectacular. So that was one little adventure. And then I went with Jimmy to the city of Noto, which, by the way, I'm going to do a little episode on that. We went
great.
to the part obviously rebuilt after the 1693 earthquake. And we went into some of the churches. So it was very, very cool. We went all the way on top of one of the bell towers and get an incredible view of the city. And
That's
so
wonderful.
that was, and I learned so much, before from my guides when we used to go to Noto on our tours. Something interesting I learned from one of the locals there, that the city was actually built, when it was rebuilt after 1693, into 3 layers. So that Corso Emanuele, Vittoria
Yeah.
Emanuele, that main course where there's all the churches, that's where generally all the clergy lived, and that's why all the churches are there. Then a few streets up is where the noblemen worked and lived, and the lower streets where the everyday people were. So very interesting little tidbit, but of course I'll have much more on the video episode on Noto.
It's one of my favorite towns, probably the most Baroque town in Sicily, or one of the most Baroque towns. I'd say them and Acciaiuoli are kind of like tied. 2 beautiful places. I've had very fond memories there. Esther, Noto has a World War II soldier memorial club where some of the residents get dressed up in American uniforms to commemorate what the American contribution did to the war. So to Sicily then. That's a great thing that you've done. I hope the video is good. I know
I'm not a short little highlight.
Well, you want to know something? It's important to do that. Hey, before we go any further, I want to remind the folks that between now and the end of the month, we're having 2 huge sales because I'm here with my daughter Jen. So I'm going to knock off $2 off our books, 3 books for $17, including free shipping. That's number one. You could just order them by either sending Esther or I a message or an email, and that's it. If you go on to youmeandsicily.com, there's also our t-shirts, but we'll have a special price off of $2 off all men's t-shirts, sizes large, extra large, and double XL,
What about if people
delivered.
make what about if people make a $50 donation to our
That was my third
GoFundMe?
thing. That's the third thing. If you make a $50 donation to our GoFundMe, which is right, I should put it on the header, uh, you'll get one for free. You'll get a
Free t-shirt.
t-shirt for free. So when you make that donation today, I hope you do make one today, then what we'll do is make sure you put your size. Let us know your size. Men's t-shirts, large, extra large, double XL. It'll be our choice of the colors because with the girls shipping them, we don't know exactly what we have left. They've been going out fast and furious. Hey, Esther, I wanted to say
Can I
one more
just finish something about Noto,
Yeah,
if you don't
yeah,
mind?
sure.
One of the things, I've been to Noto several times since I've come here to Sicily.
Yeah,
And I'm reminded each time of, I wanted to use the word dizzying, so much to see. It's almost dizzying everywhere you look. You look up
yeah,
and there's the beautiful balconies. You look down and side to all the side streets. But going there, I mean, it really is remarkable how much is in that one little main corso Emanuele. It's remarkable, Alfred. I
Don't
mean, even
forget, there's a
even
big
more
flower
than even
festival.
right. I mean, it's known for the
Yeah,
Infiorata. It's called the
yeah,
Infiorata, and it happens in May.
yeah,
But it is remarkable that when I go there, when there's Infiorata, you're sort of, your attention is on the flower beds and all the stuff that's going on. And as you mentioned, the World War II reenactments. But when you go there and there's really not much going on and very few tourists, although there were some, including some Americans,
yep.
it's just overwhelming how much there is to see there.
They
So
have
that was,
the antique flea market there. I've picked up two beautiful
yeah,
statues. If right in your house, our house rather, we have Titus is right
yeah.
there, a beautiful Roman gladiator, and then we
Wait
have
a
his
sec. Well, didn't
girlfriend.
you pick up Titus and the Antica
Oh
in
yeah, I did that one in
Catania?
Catania. I picked
That
up his
one was in
girlfriend.
Catania.
We haven't given her girlfriend the name yet, but his girlfriend that's right behind her, I picked it up in Noto. It's
So let
great.
me tell you about one more adventure that Jimmy
Sure.
and I had. So there's a Basilica of St. Peter and St. Paul. Actually, why don't you watch this video and then when we come back, I'll talk a little more. What you're looking at is the basilica dedicated to St. Paul and Peter. Over here you can see it written in Greek letters, ancient Greek letters. We are basically in the middle of nowhere in the community of Castelvecchio Siculo. Very bumpy road getting over here. But this is one of the most significant basilicas that was built during the 1100s and restored after the 1169 earthquake. And the style is a little bit of more Western and Northern European, but the workers that built this were Arabs, they were Byzantines, and Normans. This is a little treasure here, again, right outside of Savoca, past Taormina, and the roads to get here were not exactly paved, but there you are. Another Sicilian treasure, unfortunately in the middle of nowhere, but still beautiful. Look at the high ceilings. This little church was remarkable. It's not paved, so thank God it wasn't raining because it would have been completely muddy
Oh
over
my
there.
God. Yeah.
But it's about 10 miles outside of Taormina, and you go up these little wavy roads, and it's up on top of the hill in the middle of the field, and also there's some sheep there. So it was almost surreal, Alfred, going to visiting this. But I love this. It's not necessarily something that we'll put on our tours, but if people are interested in this type of very intricate Norman churches, it's definitely a place I would suggest visiting.
That's terrific that you do that. You mentioned our tours, and I guess I should say that in May we do go to the Flower Festival in Noto,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
That's one of our stops over there. But your private tours, Esther does now private tours for two people. Okay.
2 and 4.
2 and 4 people, where
Yeah.
it's more of a non-traditional type of stuff, and you don't know where they're going to go because they go all over the place. I jump in as soon as the fifth person is, then Alfred comes off the bench, and I'm with I'm with you right now. Right now, it's been very busy, hectic time for both Esther and I in terms of tour business, video business. We're growing thanks to you, period. End the
Yeah.
sentence. Our Sicilian project has been doling out money left and right, again, thanks to you. And we're going to be doling out pretty much more now the next couple of weeks. So if you want to make a donation, www.thesicilianproject.com. As soon as it comes in, it goes out. Esther's got a list of places that
Yeah.
her and our president, Giovanni Lanza, are going to be sending money to. So there's just a lot of stuff here. Esther,
Yeah.
I wish
Hey,
I
you know
wish
what
you
I'm
were
going to be
here. Yeah.
doing to one of the churches? I'm going to be serving food 2
Oh,
times. Yep. The
you
priest
can take some
invited me.
video?
I'm going to take some video, of course. Also on December 8th, there's also a lunch that I'll be serving at that's the journey, that's the day of Immaculate Conception, right, Al?
Yeah, Immaculate Conception. But
Yep,
if you're a
December
Boston
8th.
College football fan like I am, that's the day that Doug Flutie threw the pass to Gerard Phelan, and we call it the Immaculate
Only you would remember.
Reception. The Immaculate Reception. So this week has been pretty much focused on catching up with some old friends, but of course, family here too. My son
Mhm.
Matthew, my daughter Jennifer, my daughter Katie. And I sent a picture up to Esther. I hope she puts it up, or if I didn't, I'll send it to you, of what nachos look like in the United States. I was taken back, and that's one of the things, Esther, that I was taken back is at the portion sizes of the food in restaurants here. Okay, they
Same,
put
huge,
we
right?
went to the
Huge.
Grog in Newburyport,
Yeah.
and the nachos was so big. Jennifer and I, it was for two of us. We ended up eating our fill, and still over half of it
Al, that's
was
always.
left. I don't
That's
know how people
always.
could eat a whole, huh?
That's always been like that. It's always
I
been. The
mean, it's
portions are
crazy
huge there.
the sizes of the food here. And the other
Yeah,
thing too, I can't believe how expensive things are.
I know.
Things are actually
Get
cheaper in
ready.
Sicily.
Obviously, we talk about that all the time,
Yeah,
that the
it's
cost of
way
living here,
cheaper.
it's way, way cheaper.
Yep.
But you're gonna come back
Uh,
your same cut self, right?
what does that mean?
You're
Well,
gonna come.
here's the secret, okay? Is I only eat once a day, honestly,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Good.
And I have a afternoon lunch, so I don't
Yeah.
eat anything at night, okay? Because if I ate 3 meals a day here, I would be like 748 pounds. I mean, it's
No
just
kidding.
that's the one you asked me what some of the major differences are here, the food size, and when you go out to eat. And really, even the breakfast yesterday, the breakfast was
Well,
I had
those
because yesterday
luncheonettes are
was
always
Friday.
huge.
Yeah, I mean, I had eggs and toast and those home fries because it was a breakfast place. This place,
Nice.
Mary Ann's in Salem, and even that they serve it on a plate that's like 4 miles long. It's
I think
crazy.
you just forgot. You just forgot that the portions are far different. Although,
Yeah.
Alfred, on our tours, people are always telling us they can't believe how much food they serve
Yeah,
on
but we
all of
give
our
them,
tours.
yeah, but we give
Yeah,
them, you know something? The food in our tours and also the food in Sicily generally, between again you and I, unless you really, pick your shots over here, is far healthier than the food in the United
of
States of
course.
America. I mean, it's
Absolutely right.
just nuts. One of the restaurants I went to, I couldn't believe it because I'm not eating any fried food, alrighty?
Yeah.
So out of the 15 or 17 menu entrees that they have, about 9 of them were fried. Fried this, fried that, fried this, fried
Yeah.
that, fried this, fried that. And you rack up the old cholesterol and you rack up all the unhealthy things in the United States
Yeah.
just absent-mindedly. It's
No
crazy.
kidding.
Seriously.
Hey, Alfred, at this point, I want to ask people if you're enjoying this video, make sure you hit the like button and also
Yeah.
subscribe to our channel. It's so exciting. Our channel is growing pretty fast, and we love sharing Sicily in all its beauties and also bruises, right? So let me talk a little bit about situation here in Sicily. Alfred, the rain haven't stopped. Palermo got hit hard. Our friends Joe and Michelle sent me some video. They drove from Alcamo to, can't remember where, but it was, they were going down south to Sagesta area or somewhere like that. And the roads are just destroyed, and I was talking about some of these roads that are
Yeah.
not paved, and there's a lot of mud that was formed, people having to be rescued from cars, because of the heavy mud, and they couldn't get out of the car.
Yeah.
Roads destroyed, landfalls, sides of homes falling. It's going to take years and millions of dollars to fix all of this. So bit of
Let me give
another
you.
state of emergency
Let me
here.
give
But
you a big
the
clue.
thing, one thing, why weren't these roads paved before? Why are there all these roads that are not paved? It's just a vergogna. You know what that
Well,
is,
wait a
Al?
second. Hold it. Hold
Vergogna.
it. First of all,
An
Sicily's dirt
embarrassment.
poor. Sicily's dirt poor. That's number one. They don't have the money, obviously. The infrastructure and some of the pipe work is just obscenely
Right.
old.
Crazy.
But let me say this. Yesterday, I was driving from Newburyport, Massachusetts to Andover, and Newburyport was swamped, as was Andover, your hometown. You know why?
Wow.
Because the DPWs have not cleaned out the sewers where the leaves go. So they had a deluge here yesterday.
Well, you guys
And
have the leaves. We have the ashes of Mount
right.
Etna,
So I think every
clogging
community
all
has, every
everything.
community in the world has these types of
Yeah.
problems that you just, Esther, I'll tell you what, I was thinking of you last night when I was driving through the water with your vehicle, a Toyota Rav. As I was going through, I said to myself, I'm going to blow another engine because that
Oh,
water was way up, but your car just kind of went right through it. So there was no problem with it. But
perfect.
our car in Italy, the motor I had to replace the motor. Remember that a couple of years ago? It
Yeah.
was awful. It was just awful. But these are the types of things this time of the year. You have climatic changes and events going on. Let's
Yeah.
just hope that the rest of this week while I'm here, I can do some more video work, which is what one of the things
Yeah.
I'm doing here as well, and photo work. And you can take another video or two. What are your plans this week? What are you doing this week coming up?
I'm going to be working on the Noto episode. By the way, did you guys see the video I did with Massimo Grimaldi on buying or renting property here? I'll leave you a link. That was the video I did last week. So I think I'm going to work on Noto. I'm going to have a couple of meetings with people. Obviously, we have our Christmas tour coming up in just about a month or
Yeah,
so.
wow.
And so getting ready for that. Looking forward to that because it's a beautiful time of the year here, very festooned, great food. So, although, Alfred, they are starting to put up some Christmas things.
Yeah, for sure. Buster,
And then,
Esther,
by the
just
way,
looking at
and
you right now, hold it
yeah,
on a screen next to me. I really think I should get a dollar bill or a euro in this case and throw it at the screen because you're very much a beautiful woman and you're far much
oh, I love
beautiful,
you, honey.
more beautiful when I'm 54 kilometers away.
You're going to get yourself in trouble, brother.
Anyways, uh, that's the whole story over here. And of course, tomorrow's a big day for me. I'm gonna be with my family. We're celebrating our Thanksgiving early, obviously, and also our
Yeah.
Christmas early because I'm gonna be leaving the next day. But for the first time in I don't know how many years, I'm gonna be able to sit down with my family and watch a Patriots football game.
Oh.
A real Patriots football
And
game. I
then
haven't
when
seen
you
one on the
come back,
television
we'll
in years.
celebrate Thanksgiving here.
And we're gonna celebrate. And guess what? Your mom made some. Your mother's just an
Cran.
angel. Okay, she made some cranberry sauce, homemade cranberry sauce that she's going to give to
Yeah.
me so I can bring to the family tomorrow. Isn't that wonderful?
Awesome. Wait,
And
aren't you bringing
not for
some?
nothing,
Aren't you
but
bringing it some home too?
uh, I have some packed up. But I think by
Good.
tomorrow there's not going to be. Yes, there's gonna. But I think tomorrow it'll probably all be gone. So it'll be good. So, anyways, this was a great show. Got to catch up.
All right, honey. Been very, very fun catching up with you and can't wait to see you back here in Sicily.
I can't wait to get back to Sicily either and catch up with you.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Ciao.
Ciao. Bye-bye.